Buenos dias a todos. Welcome. Don't forget, safe practices are always in order. Wear your mask, social distancing. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap and water, sanitize. All right, girls. So we are getting ready for Diwali. Um, it's the festival of light. Diwali means row of lights, and it's a festival of East Indian origin. It's a Hindu festival. All right. So let's see what it is we're going to do today. So today we are going to look at Diwali. And before we do that, we're going to just touch base a little bit on where did it come from? Where is its origins before we start? All right. One of the things I want you to bear in mind is Diwali. With art, there is symmetry in nature. And in nature, that symmetry means that there's one line. Some things might have more than one line of symmetry, but we are looking at things that have one line of symmetry. Okay? We are looking at like an apple. You can see when we say it's symmetrical, it means that the left-hand side is exactly as the right-hand side. Okay? The plane, the left-hand side is exactly the right-hand side. Now this house, this illustration is symmetrical, but generally in nature, you don't really see houses are exactly symmetrical. There's always a difference in design, right? Most of the times, there's a difference. All right. Now, Diwali is its origins, East Indian origins, and it came with the indentured laborers. They were the East Indians came as indentured laborers in 1845. Whoa, and we are in 2020 now. They left their home in India to come to work in Trinidad. Within the period 1845 to 1917, about 140,000 East Indian immigrants migrated to Trinidad on this ship, the Fasal Rasik. Now, this is the Indians who came here, the East Indians. They came in their traditional clothes, right? They came with their knowledge of their culture, which they hung on to and they practiced right here, their local cuisine, their clothes, their religion, right? They came and brought it right here to Trinidad. So we are now that is what makes our culture so unique. It's a melting pot of different cultures where we learn, we don't stick to just our own. We also know about the other cultures that exist in our land here in Trinidad and Tobago. Just to have an idea of where they came from, this is India, this huge landmass, this continent of India. They traveled through the Indian Ocean, around the Atlantic Ocean, to our little spot in Trinidad and Tobago, where they worked and they contributed to our society. One such descendant is V.S. Naipaul, all right? And if you read this book, The Voyage from Calcutta, from Naipaul's biography, that will give you an idea of some of the stories that the Indians, East Indian immigrants would have faced on their travels, or when they came to Trinidad, what did they experience? Some of you might have grandparents or great who would have told stories handed down to you. All right? And that's what makes it so interesting and amazing, right? One of the things they brought with them is diyas. Well, they may not have brought the deer because it would have broke, but the knowledge of how to make the deer from clay pots, they molded into these little bowl-like shapes with a little spout. In it, they would fill with oil and cotton and light on the darkest night, either in October or November. This year, it's November. All right? All right. So as I told you, it's the darkest night of the year. So in our last lesson, we learned about washes. I want you to create a wash, but leave the center. So your wash is around your page. All right. Also leave the center here. Now remember, a wash is a little bit of paint, a lot of water. More water, less paint. So I don't want to see it black, black, black. I want to see that wash. All right? In our design, I want us to see the lotus flower. And the lotus flower is regarded as a symbol of purity, enlightenment, self-regeneration, and birth. And why did they say about all these magnificent things about the lotus flower? Look at where it is growing. It is growing in dark, muddy water. And out of it, its roots is able still to get rich resources to give us that brilliant, beautiful flower, which should be a reflection for us in our lives. We must always draw the best in all situations. So, like we are going through now, currently the world is going through COVID, and it has had us to our knees. But now we are now starting to understand the disease, understand this virus. We are understanding now the importance of wearing our mask, social distancing, washing of our hands. All right, girls, safe practices. All right. So with that, we can rise and shine. Always remember that. Now, in our design, I encourage you, if you want to add more, you can. All right. But first, let's learn the concept. So first, your paper must be in portrait and you're going to fold it in half. Your drawing must occupy the main part of your paper. Okay, it's a big drawing. So the first thing you're going to draw is your flame, the lip of the deer, and the base. All right? Then I told you our drawing must have a lotus flower. So the lotus flower, you will start with a simple semicircle, and then we have the petals at the side. Okay? Next, what I want you to do is trace it with a marker. Now remember, this is the outside, and when you trace it, you're going to get an impression on the inside. I want you to trace the inside in a crayon. Notice one half is done with the crayon and the next is left undone. All right? So you're going to fold this page again. So your inside should have your tracing of your deer and the lotus flower and the flame, and you're tracing it over in crayons. Why we are using crayons? When you fold this back again and you're going to trace it again, it's going to print on the next side. Let me show you that. So here we have it. We folded it back again, trace it a second time on the markers part, and when you open it, you're going to get this. You may have to trace it over to get that bold look. Okay? Right. Then we take our time and paint. Now, one thing about painting, girls, remember that you need to wash your brush after you use each color. And if the water gets really dirty, change the water. So notice I first started with the flame. I washed the brush, then I started with the deer, right? Washed the brush, did the oil, washed the brush, and started the lotus flower. Here we have in the end. And I washed it. I found that I needed to put a little bit of green because normally the deers would be on the ground. Most likely I wanted it to be on something green. You could choose what you want it to be on. Okay? So this is what it's going to look like. Notice that I have utilized the entire page, right? This is what I got. So let me just show it to you again. I fold my page in half, did my drawing. This is my marker drawing. And when you press hard on this, you're going to see the impression, and then I trace it over with crayon. Then I close it back again a second time and trace. It will print on the other side, and I traced boldly now. So I got my entire picture. Now, I know some of you are very creative and you might design a little more. This is what I did with the other classes, but in your class, I specifically wanted to see how you used your wash. All right, so let me just get the others. So here it is, simple, all right? But there's no background. You have learned how to do background, right? So this is basically like what you have done. Here, again, though, I added a little more. So I added a lip and I added designs, okay? And leaves. So I want you can copy what I have. The lotus flower is a must, all right? You could add other designs on the deer. Remember, it must be symmetrical. The left side must be the same as the right side. So let me show you those images again. Notice my left side is the same as my right side, right? Down to even the flame. My left side is the same as the right side. My left side is the same as the right side. Okay, I am looking at how you do your washes. So notice I left my black, which was more water, less paint, and I put my glow of yellow because the deers do light up. Okay, and it was a wash. Remember, a wash is more water, less paint. I put a little green below. Okay, so let me hold it up again for you to see. So notice how my background is in the back. You can actually see it's in the background, and it is serving the purpose of what the deer is. Light over darkness, okay? And it is shining for us to see. Notice to my lotus flower, notice the colors have not mixed because I washed the paintbrush after every use, okay? So this is a simple one. I think the standard ones did this. And this was the standard too, adding a little more design. Same thing they had to do, okay? Same thing. So I know standard threes, you are a little more creative. You might want to add more. I want to see that lotus flower because the symbolism, that's what I want you to understand. And the symbolism is I can do all things with Christ who strengthens me, no matter how hard things may look. You could do it. All you do is relax, take a breather, understand what it is you have to do, and take your time and do it. Some of you I know are designers. Design. Use your knowledge on what is a background. Use your knowledge of line of symmetry. This is where we are using your knowledge for art. Okay? All right. So enjoy your Diwali. If you're going out, safe practices. Wash your hands and social distancing. Adios.